Does Trey Sermon have a role in this offense?
Only if his camp and his preseason go well, because now I feel like, well, first off, look at, there's JaMychal Hasty, and there are so many backs here to justify keeping him. He's going to need to, I think, push one of them off the roster. And that's the issue. This was Tyrion Davis-Price. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
That was an interesting draft. I'm not angry at it, but I wasn't really blown away by that. But I did watch him. He's a good back. He's more of a bruiser, I guess you could say. And Sermon should have brought that as well. But for whatever reason, Sermon, between his injury in Philadelphia or whatever, just never got his opportunity, it feels like. To me, I feel like maybe they see it in practice.
They gave him a ton of opportunities in training camp and preseason in retrospect. And I guess they just felt like he didn't do it. To me, they don't like the way he runs the ball, which is crazy. Like, you didn't notice that in college, but I feel like they think he dances too much.
Where is the gauge? Where's the measure of this man? How did they make this determination?
I guess they didn't like what they saw in training camp and preseason, which is crazy. But I think what they didn't like was I think they feel he's not particularly explosive. He doesn't hit the hold particularly violently. He hesitates, he bounces, and I think they want a guy like Ty Davis-Price who just freaking charges up between the tackles. That's
one of the things that I will say that Shanahan needs from his back is one cut and go. And the reason for that is it's just like martial arts. It's just like squad maneuvers in the military. The guy in front of you doesn't see you hesitating. So he is doing his job to a T as an O-lineman. And if you are not perfectly in sequence with him and make that one cut and go, it might not look like there's a hole there now, but there will be by the time you get there. Yeah. And that's where I will say Sermon does not see the vision. He sees what's in front of him. So he's running like a one-man show. And I can see why that might irk Kyle Shanahan, because he's like, dude, did you not see Kittle downfield? Did you not see Juszczyk was out there, out of your field of vision, coming across to blindside the linebacker? All you saw was the guy in front of you. And maybe that's where his hesitation comes from. I was listening to another podcast, and they were talking about the importance of basically staying in sync with each other as a 49ers offensive unit. And maybe they feel like Sermon isn't comfortable in that unit yet, but perhaps that's why they get him. And that's why Raheem Mostert was so good, because he did hit the hole. Once he got the ball, he drifted and took off on his first cut. And sometimes it was 2 yards, 3 yards, but sometimes it was 50 plus. And I feel like Mostert's ability to just hit the hole with speed and go is one of the things they are hoping for, perhaps from this third round pick. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Well, he's different than Mostert. He's 225 pounds.
Oh, no, I don't mean to compare them. I mean,
here's how I look at it.
Hitting the hole.
Yeah. With Sermon, I don't know why he's on this team. I don't know who advocated for him, but the running back coach from last year is gone. Bobby Turner. He's not here this year. And a lot of offensive coaches are gone. Mike McDaniel's gone. So whoever his advocate was probably isn't here. The new running back coach, first thing he does is draft another running back in round 3. If you were Trey Sermon and I was your agent, and we saw they got a new running back coach, and the first thing he did was take another running back in the same spot you were taking, we would both be like, "Ooh, that's a bad sign." Seems to me that Anthony Lynn has his own vision for what he wants in running backs, and Ty Davis-Price fits it. I'm not sure Trey Sermon does.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't consider that. That's definitely, it's his brainchild.
That's
basically, look, you don't get the first or the second round, but we'll give you the third, the third and fourth, perhaps somewhere in there. And if you can pick a decent running back in there, you can make him. And you know what? If you have the attention of the teacher, you have success.
Yeah, that's Lyn's pick. And so what he's saying is, this is my kind of running back. I don't think he's saying Trey Sermon. If Trey Sermon was his kind of running back, they wouldn't have drafted Ty Davis-Price. And the thing about Ty Davis-Price, so look into Anthony Lynn's background. Bobby Turner had his own types of running backs. He was into smaller guys who could make that one cut and go, like Elijah Mitchell. Anthony Lynn likes bigger guys. He's not as concerned about agility. His starting running back in Detroit last year was Jamal Williams, who's a lot like Ty Davis-Price, about 224 pounds, not particularly agile, but runs really freaking hard between the tackles and gets yards after contact. That's what he's looking for, and that's what they're hoping Ty Davis-Price will be. So I don't know about Troy. I don't know about Trey.
One really good team we play that is soft on defense and doesn't match up well against us physically. What is it?
Well, it used to be the Rams, but now they have Bobby Wagner.
They do, and that's going to hurt. But
that's what they got Bobby
maybe
Wagner.
Some of the thinking was that it's a game, not a quarter, and we need because when the Niners roll the Rams, they wear them down, and the Rams defense literally just gives up.
Yes.
And you see Aaron Donald on the sideline just breathing his lungs out, basically. So perhaps that's a really good point. The running backs coach, they advocate for who they want. Just like Kyle Shanahan obviously has dibs along with John Lynch on who they draft first.
Also, Kyle, in the 3 biggest moments of his career, has choked. Super Bowl with Atlanta, Super Bowl with the Niners, and last year in the NFC Championship game. And all 3 times he had a lead and couldn't close it out. A lot of people feel that the way you close out a lead in the NFL since the beginning of time is with a running back who's a little bit bigger. I mean,
Marshawn
Lynch had finesse, but he also had Roger Craig, who was 220 pounds. I mean, Kyle's been trying to close out these Super Bowls with scat backs. So maybe he feels like this is the. I mean, if you're gonna have a committee of running backs, why not have different types as opposed to 3 scat backs? I've always said that with Kyle.
I still feel it would have worked in the Super Bowl had they continued to, use Mostert. I think that was 100% the coaching and not the players.
Correct.
But I get what you're saying. If you get back to why the Legion of Boom broke up, basically, and why they don't like Pete Carroll, it's that Marshawn Lynch call, not giving him the ball. When you're on the 1 to 3 yard line and it's the 4th quarter, everybody is gassed except Marshawn Lynch. I can see why if you look back, I mean, even Anthony Dixon in the days of Frank Gore took goal line snaps from the 1 yard line, because how are you going to stop this behemoth of a man for 1 yard, basically? And so there is benefits. The Niners do come up a little short every single time, it feels like, and perhaps that's the thinking. But you know what? It's a team. It's a unit. One guy's not going to solve this. But let's see what they do with him.
But I think what's interesting last year is when they were in positions, like they gave the ball to Debo a lot as a running back, and it was sometimes outside the tackles, but it was also like goal line, 4th and 1. Gotta have it. He was the biggest. He was 220 pounds. So now it's Ty Davis-Price. He should be the goal line back. Debo shouldn't have to do that.
So they lost their goal line back, Jimmy Garoppolo, on his sneaks and stuff like that. What is that guy, like 50 for 50 in his life?
Sybilla. He's not gone yet. He's
That's
still
true.
on the team.
Now we know now we know why he's still here.
Lurking.
Sneaks. $25 million for sneak. But I'll tell you this: if it comes down to the Super Bowl and we're on the goal line and Trey Lance is out there, they better pull him off the field. And there's $25 million for a Super Bowl. That's the going rate.
Have you ever seen Pineapple Express?
Yes.
It's the best thing James Franco ever did. That one scene where he's like saying he's a lingerer. He lingers.
Yes.
Dude, Jimmy is a lingerer, man. You linger. Although he's trying to leave. He said goodbye.
Yes.
The Niners are just holding him against
forcibly lingered and snared.
Let my Jimmy go.
Free Jimmy. That's the new hashtag. We had free Baker, right? Free OBJ. Now we have free Jimmy.
I like that. Free
and
Jimmy.
See, whether you're a Jimmy lover or a Jimmy hater, use it. So it's the only hashtag we would ever find peace and love on earth for.
I like that. Hashtag free Jimmy. We got to make that a movement. Let's put some pressure on the Niners to free Jimmy. Sybilla, it was been a pleasure. Let's do it again sometime.
Absolutely.
Right.
Real quick, I just want to see if you caught this. Did you catch Rich Eisen interviewing Mariucci?
No. What'd he say?
Did you hear do you remember when Bill Walsh, the play in the dirt where he draws it up and he's leaning down there and Joe's sitting there with his finger in the ground, and famous, right? Mariucci saw the same photographer in the 2nd quarter of a Falcons game, right? And they had a huge lead, and he calls a timeout. Okay. He gets Steve to come over here. Did you hear this story? Okay, so he gets Steve Young to come over here, and Steve literally goes like, "What are you doing?" And he like looks up the clock and Steve Young didn't know this, and I got to listen to his live reaction on this. It was hilarious. And Mariucci wanted the same moments because he's a quirky kind of guy. He's a nice guy. He's like everyone's dad, right? And he wanted the same moments. And so Steve Young came over there, put his hands on his hips, looks down at him, and like Mariucci was like, "My knees are old. I was in pain." And he's like, "Come on, get down here, get down here." And Steve Young looks at him, doesn't say a word, turns around, walks away, goes to get some water. And Mariucci says, "So I'm stuck there, right? I'm stuck there like this moment in time, feeling like an idiot. But I hang on to it." And he's like, and I'm like, "Steve, and Steve never comes back."
No.
And then they asked, and Steve's like, "I remember that." And he's like, "Actually, I thought you were going to throw up. So I just kind of gave you some space." And he's like, because why would you call a timeout at the second quarter? I'm over there with some of the other guys saying, what is going on here? You know, it was a great moment. And I remember that vaguely and everything. I just remember this. My father made this comment. Why is he calling timeout? And that was just like, I brought it up with my father. He goes, I remember that.
Have you watched the show Winning Time on HBO?
No, I have not.
Winning Time. Anyone who's watched that, the way you just described Steve Mariucci reminds me a lot of the portrayal of Paul Westhead by Jason Segel in the show. Wow.
I'll have to look that up.
Anyway, it's a good show. Everyone was mad that it's like not accurate. I don't know. I wasn't alive in the early 80s. It's really John C. Reilly's. I love John C. Reilly. It's like basically Boogie Nights 2, 25 years later. It's like Boogie Nights 2 with starring John C. Reilly. Sally Fields is in it. Adrian Brody's in it. Jason Segel.
Sally Fields is great. Yeah,
it's on HBO, and it's really good. I mean, I'm into it. Anyway, that's the show. Thanks for watching. I'll be back in an hour with Rob if he texts me. We'll see if Rob wants to work today. We'll see what Rob's got. Sybilla already got her work in. Now
exactly.
it's time
to I'll have to do my front squats.
Yeah.
Presses in because I hear there's work being done.
Yeah, I put up 185, 2 sets of 10 yesterday. Yeah.
We're chasing the combine numbers. We're gonna have. You know what we do? Let's have a. I don't know what we call the Cohn family. Let's have the Cohn family combine, right?
Okay, and so I've been working out. You always work out. Jack's been working out, but Jason got to start. Vish, I met Vish. Vish is skinny.
Jack has to play on offense because I'm on defense.
Yeah.
So we have to have a scrimmage game one day.
Yeah.
There you go, Niners fans. Let's get a scrimmage game together. There we go.
I'm a two-way player. I play center and free safety.
Cone Bowl.
I have that kind of body type.
We play for the Cone Bowl in a bottle of Napa.
Ooh, I like that.